Okay, so if we look at number 90, hey guys, today if I'm talking, you're not, because if I have to strain my voice in the slightest, I'm gonna get a headache and I'm not dealing with it today. All right. Um, so number 90 was one that we had a question on. So it says that Deshaun is in his 5th year of employment as a patrol officer for the Metro Police. His salary for the first year of employment was $47,000, and each year after the first, his salary increases by 4% for the previous year. So for his first year, he's got 47,000, and we want to know the 5th year. Okay, so what do we multiply by to get to the next year? How do we get his next salary? Yeah, we add 1 to the 4%, right? Because that's 100. So if you multiply by 1, that's 100% of your salary. And then if you increase it by 4%, you would do what decimal? 0.04. So if we take this number and we multiply it by 1.04, that's how we get to the next salary. Does that make sense? So if we do 47,000 times 1.04, that's his next salary. That's the 47,000 plus 4% of 47,000. That's the new salary. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to multiply by 1.04 again. 50,835.20. We're gonna multiply again. 52,868.61. We're gonna multiply again. 54,983.35. So what is the sum of his salaries for the first 5 years? What do we have to do? Add them up. That's what sum means. So if we add those up, we get 254,567.16 approximately, somewhere in there. So D. There is a shorter way to do that problem with formulas, but we don't have to worry about that because we can do this problem in a tedious fashion. We've got plenty of time. Okay. Now it says he continues his employment at the same rate. When does the sum of his salaries first exceed $1 million? We just got to keep going until this total adds up to $1 million. I'm going to use Desmos and my graphing calculator for this. Okay, let me go to Desmos. So I'm going to do that total we had. 254,567.35. Okay, that was our last total. On my calculator, I'm going to take that last salary that we ended up with. What was the last one? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just the two calculators that I have. And I'm just going to keep multiplying by 1.04 on this calculator so I can get the new totals. And then on Desmos, I'm just going to keep adding them till I get to 1 million. Anyone have a better plan? You can use what? You could do that. Do you know the actual formula? I don't. I've got too much snot in my head to figure out the actual formula. Do you know for sure that's right? Sounds like BS to me. Let's go ahead and keep adding. It's only a little bit tedious, you guys. Are you guys scared of it being tedious? We're gonna get the right answer. That's literally what they're asking you to do. Let's just add them up. That's fine. So plus, I'm gonna add the next salary, 57, 182.68. Eventually the salaries are gonna get so big that they'll that we won't have to do it for all that long. So how was everyone's evening last night? Pretty good? No, we're not even gonna chat while we do this. You guys are just gonna be weird about it? That's fine. Okay, fine. Oops. Plus, here's the next one. Nobody's gonna help me. Are you guys gonna help? I should hear typing. Hey, look, we're getting pretty close. Is anyone there yet? Anyone a faster typer than me? Is it a race now? I'm totally gonna win. Ooh, look how close I am. So I'm gonna get it on the next one. 81 was the last one. 84, 644, 34. Okay, I broke 1 million. You guys get there? Okay, so now I have to go back and just see how many years that was, because I was not counting that while I did it. Okay. Ready to count? We got 1 year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. On the 16th year, we hit 1 million. That wasn't that bad. Yeah, on the 16th year. Well, I think that was really fun. Should we do it again? Well, rude. Okay, that's fine. You guys ready for unit 6? You guys, when we start unit 6, it's geometry. You know what that means? No more cheats. Well, there's a few cheats on this one. I'm going to show them to you, but mostly no cheats. So do you guys have your geometry folders with your formulas? Because we're going to need them. This is the one where you had all the area volume formulas, that sort of thing. So if you have your geometry folders, go ahead and get them out. Yeah, we're going to put the answers in for unit 4 and 5. I'm going to make the deadline for units 4 and 5 7 p.m. tonight. 7 p.m. tonight. Right, unit 6 on top of it. Unit 6, so what unit do we have left? We go to unit 8. Yeah, we didn't do those because we're in those. Yep. Yes. Tonight at 7 p.m. Yes, unit 4 and 5 are going to be due tonight, 7 p.m. All right, and today we are doing unit 6. So make sure you write on today's packet, unit 6 real big. You'll notice these ones, these questions, you'll be like, hey, those are familiar. That's because they were in the last packet. We're not going to do them a second time. We're going to start down here. You'll notice these 2 questions might be familiar. They were in the last packet. We're actually going to do them this time. So there are some questions that Desmos can do, and question 106 is one of them. One of the really nice things about Desmos is that Desmos can graph equations that are not functions. So your calculator cannot graph a circle, but Desmos can. So we're going to go ahead and type this in, and we're going to see that Desmos can actually graph a circle. So x minus 2 squared and y plus 5 squared equals 180. Oops, 180. There we go. And it's a pretty big circle, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. And the nice thing about this, we can cheat on it because the problems are asking for the center and the radius. And we can like plot the point for the center and just see which one of the centers makes sense. So we got 2, -5 and -2, 5. So I'm just going to plot those. 2, -5. That makes sense. -2, 5 is not going to make sense because the last one did make sense. So the answer choices that had -2, 5 for the center are obviously wrong. So we can mark those off. C and D are definitely not the answer. And then they have 2 options for the radius. The radius could be 90 in length, or it could be 6√5 in length. I don't know what 6√5 is, so I'm going to see 6. Anyone remember how to type a square root? SQRT, 6√5 is a length of 13. Right now, this is going by 2s, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit more and try to get it to go by 1s. Okay, now my radius was either 90 or it was 13. Does this radius look to be about 90 or 13? 13, yeah. So the only thing to be careful of when you're looking to use Desmos for something like this is to make sure that your scale is going by 1s. To zoom in or zoom out until your scale is going by 1s. That's the only thing that could be confusing, is if your scale is not going by 1s and then you think that it is. So we know that the correct answer is B. Center is 2, -5 and approximately 13. See, so Desmos is still a little bit good for cheating on the geometry ones. Okay. I think if we do 108, we actually didn't learn this. We didn't, did we? No, we did do this. We did this when we came back from spring break, didn't we? Rotations. We did rotations. Yes. No. Yes. Okay, so if you were to, I think that when I did these on the Google form, I think I called this like A, B, C, D. I think that might be what I did. I'm not positive. But this is a good way to label them so you can match them. So if you were to take this shape and spin it around that line, what 3D shape would it make? The top left, top right, bottom left, or bottom right? Which one would it make? It would make a circle. If you spun it around the line, it would make a donut. Yeah, because it's got some distance from the line. Which one would make the circle or the sphere? B would. B would make the sphere. Okay. Which one would make the cone? D. And then the cylinder would be from the rectangle being spun around. Okay. 109 is going to be our typical, our favorite strategy of just graph the problem, graph the answers, make sure they match up. So we can do that. And then we're going to run into a bunch of geometry problems where there's just no way to cheat on it. Like 111, to find the volume of a cone, you can't cheat. You got to know what the formula is for volume of a cone. You got to plug the stuff in. You got to just do it. That's the only way to get the problem. Okay, so we're going to skip that one because we're going to have to use those formulas. I think I showed you one already, like 117. 116 you'll be able to do. You can just graph those answer choices and see which one looks like this picture. So I think you guys will be okay for that. Oh, we can do number 120. So 120 says the graph of a circle has its center at 2, 3. So if it has a center at 2, 3, do you guys remember how we start writing the equation? It has a center of 2, 3. X minus 2. And then what else do we need there? Squared. Perfect. And then y minus 3 squared. Okay. And if it has a radius of 10 units, what do we put that this equals? 100. Perfect. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to graph this, and then they say which point does not lie on the circle. What it means by lie on the circle is that if you have the circle graphed, points that are on the circle are going to look like this. So of these answer choices, 4 of the points are going to lie on the circle. 1 of them is not. So that's what they're asking about. So we're going to graph this on Desmos. We're going to see which point is not on the circle. So I'm going to go back and hit the home button to get it back to normal. Get rid of what I graphed before. Graph my new circle. Since my circle is pretty big, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can see everything. And then I'll start plotting the points for the answer choices. So -4, -5. So I can see -4, -5 lies on the circle, so that's not the answer. 8, 11 lies on the circle. Oh. Okay. So we've got some problems that we can use some Desmos on, but for the majority of these, we're going to have to actually use some formulas and do them by hand. Yeah, question. The formula is that it has to be the radius squared. So 10 squared. Yeah, good question. Any other questions for this unit? All right. So I'm going to let you guys work on this unit today. We're only doing 1 unit because I know this is going to be more time consuming since since you actually have to do the questions. Okay. So this one, I'm going to give you the weekend, and then on Monday during class, we'll decide when it's due. Okay. All right. There's 8 total. So we're almost done. Yeah. Once we're done doing the units one by one, then we're going to start doing review that's like mixed up. where all the units were kind of scrambled together and it could be anything. Yeah. So then it's gonna feel like you're taking the actual EOC, yeah.